Today we'd like to call Joe Walker to the stand. Good afternoon, Ms. Walker.
Good afternoon.
Now, will you introduce yourself to the court, please?
Yes, my name is Joe Walker.
And where do you live currently?
I live in Miltonville, Georgia.
And will you tell us a little bit about your educational background?
Yes, I graduated from the Georgia Institute of Technology in 1987 as top of my class. I was also part of the Honor Society's Gamma Alpha Psi and Gamma Beta Sigma.
And what did you do after graduating from Georgia Tech?
I moved to Chicago to work for Arthur Anderson.
And after that?
I opened my own firm called Accountability. We're a 6-member firm.
Now, Ms. Walker, what do you do there at Accountability?
I specialize in forensic accounting, writing audits.
And do you have any documents of your expertise?
Yes, my curriculum vitae.
And what is a curriculum vitae?
It's a document that shows all my education, my memberships that I'm a part of, past education and continuing education.
Your Honor, may I proceed?
You may.
Now, Ms. Walker, would you please identify what has previously been marked as Exhibit 1?
Yes, this is my curriculum vitae.
And is that a true and accurate reflection of your curriculum vitae?
Yes, it is.
And is that relevant to investigations you have conducted in the future?
Yes.
Right. Your Honor, the authenticity of Exhibit 1 has previously been stipulated. We now seek that it be tendered into evidence.
Any objection?
No.
All right, it's admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, would you please elaborate upon what is in the curriculum vitae?
Yes, it shows my educations, my certifications, employment, memberships, and continuing education.
And would you please elaborate upon the memberships you are a part of?
Yes, I'm a part of 3 different memberships, but I mostly devote my time to the the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners.
And what have you learned being in that organization?
I've learned how to prevent and detect technology-based crimes. I've learned how to trace illicit funds and stuff like that.
And was this relevant to your expertise in your future investigation?
Yes, it was.
Your Honor, the prosecution now seeks that Joe Walker be tendered as an expert in the field of financial forensics, specifically in the field of fraud examination.
Any objection? No objections. All right, she's admitted as an expert.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Ms. Walker, is what you do significant to businesses?
Yes, I look past the money and more the background and the details of that.
And do you know the defendant in this case?
Yes, Mr. Logan Haynes.
And where did you meet him?
I met him at the Georgia Board of Commerce, and he had approached me after I did my presentation. He was worried about his business being in the red, and at the time he failed to mention his fraud or his suspicion of fraud.
And Ms. Walker, why was he so concerned about being in the red?
Because studies show that in the first 1 to 3 years of business operation, it is more likely to be in the red and have a failure. And in this case, they were in their 3rd year of business operation.
Now, when did you begin to perform your audit?
Tuesday, September 9th.
And what did you notice initially about the owners?
I noticed Miss Zoe Torrance, she dealt with more of the money aspects of the business, mostly the cash register stuff, and then Logan Haynes dealt with like the menus and all the creativity of the food and the business operation.
Is there anything else you noticed about Ms. Torrance?
Yes, one day she had spilled coffee on the records, not once but twice, and also I did notice her having a suspicious phone call with some other person.
And what were the contents of those phone calls or conversations?
Money issues, gambling, and stuff like that.
Okay, now moving on, as an expert in the field of financial forensics, would you please tell us about some of the more common situations places like the Georgia Bistro face?
The most common type of fraud is employee theft. And the most common version of that is skimming. Skimming is by which cash is not entered into the system before being used.
So where did you look in your audit pertaining to this?
Past financial records, business records, check register tapes, and stuff like that.
And did you interview anyone during that same period?
Yes, Zoe Torrance and Logan Haynes.
And finally, is there anywhere else you look for information?
Yes, like I said, that's past business records, financial records, deposit slips, and stuff like that.
So after all this searching in week 2, did you have any suspicions for the Georgian Bistro's financial troubles?
Yes, Mrs. Zoe Torrance.
And were there any documents that caused you to think this?
Yes, certain daily cash register tapes, deposit slips, and stuff like that.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may.
Now, Ms. Walker, I'm showing you what's previously been marked as Exhibits 2, 3, and 4. Would you please identify those documents for us?
Yes, on Exhibit 2, it has a receipt from July 12th, 2025, and also the
Your
cash.
Honor, objection, Your Honor.
What's the basis?
She's talking about the documents without them being tendered into evidence yet.
Your Honor, may I respond?
You may.
She's discussing surface level of documents that are necessary for identifying the exhibits.
So she needs to talk about what's in the exhibit before you can admit the exhibit?
Well, Your Honor, the aspects she was talking about are identifying the exhibit themselves, but I can ask her to be more vague about them if you would like.
Yeah, I'll sustain the objection, but continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Walker, would you please just identify the surface level of what those exhibits are?
Yeah, some cash register tapes, receipts, and some of that.
And that was for Exhibit 2, 3, and 4.
Exhibit 3 has a deposit slip, and Exhibit 4 has a check register tape and a check.
Okay. And were these relevant to your investigation as a whole?
Yes, they were.
And are they clear and accurate representations of those documents?
Yes, they are.
Correct. Your Honor, the authenticities of Exhibit 2, 3, and 4 have previously been stipulated. We now seek that they can be tendered into evidence.
Any objection to admissibility?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, they're admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right. Would you please elaborate upon what Exhibit 2 is?
Yes, Exhibit 2, like I was saying, was a receipt from the Georgian Bistro that was found in an employee's checkbook, or a book. The receipt was on July 12th, 2025, and there's also a check register slip from July 12th, 2025.
And how did this support your conclusion of investigation?
It helped show that in certain instances, these were not entered into the system.
Okay. Would you elaborate upon what Exhibit 3 is?
Yes, it's a deposit slip and a cash register slip.
And what does it specifically show?
It shows all the totals from the day, from the receipts on August 8th and August 9th, and it shows that these do not equal up to the total.
And how did Exhibit 3 support your investigation and conclusions?
Like I said, it helps show that these were not equaled up to the total balance, and yeah.
And finally, would you elaborate upon what Exhibit 4 is?
Exhibit 4 is a check from Zoe Torrance that was written to herself for $3,000 that was not entered into the system on the check register slip.
And how did this support your investigation and conclusions?
It helps show that Zoe was giving herself money without entering it into the system.
All right, so in total, how many times, in your expert opinion, do you think Ms. Torrance committed fraud against the Georgian Bistro?
Around 67 times.
Now, what did this do to the Georgian Bistro, that 67 instances of fraud?
It left them in negative cash flow with a debt of around $155,000.
And did you tell Ms. Haynes?
Yes, I told him on Friday, September 19th.
And how did Mr. or Ms. Haynes react to that?
He was not happy. He said, "You have done your job. You can leave now. I will handle Zoe."
And was that the final thing she said?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Ms. Haynes has already been ruled in this trial as available as an exemption from hearsay, as she is here to testify.
Sorry, I'm not following.
It has already been ruled that Ms. Haynes is exempt from hearsay, as she is here to testify to her own statement.
So she's here to testify to her own statement?
Well, she's here to testify, so in the rules of the mock trial competition, she is exempt from the hearsay rule, as she can address the statements made.
Is that correct?
Your Honor, I stand by my objection that she mentioned, Mrs. Haynes saying something, and that's what it's hearsay, and should not be admissible.
Well, I mean, I read through the rules and stipulations. So was it stipulated that this witness could testify to hearsay? I mean, if it's one of her statements, it's just not hearsay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is she testifying to one of her previous statements that she made?
No, Your Honor. The rules state that she is currently testifying to something she heard from Ms. Haynes. And it is stated in the rules that a witness who is here to testify is not counted as hearsay as long as she's here to testify and those are her statements.
Oh, I understand. Okay, so under the rules of mock trial, we know the defendant will be testifying.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I got it. No, this is allowed.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Would you like me to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
And what was the final thing Ms. Haynes said to you?
You've done your job, you can go now, I will handle Zoe.
All right. So, Ms. Walker, what happened after that?
I realized that I forgot my favorite mechanical pencil at the bistro, so I went back and I grabbed it, and I heard Logan talking to Zoe in a very harsh voice.
All right. And anything after that?
When I was on my way out, I had come across the buy-sell agreement between Mr. Logan Haynes and Mrs. Zoe Torrance.
Your Honor, may I proceed?
You may.
Ms. Walker, I'm showing you what's previously been marked as Exhibit 5. Would you please identify that for us?
Yes, this is the partnership cross-purchase with buy-sell agreement between Mr. Logan Haynes and Mrs. Zoe Torrance.
And was this document relevant to your investigation?
Yes, it was.
And is that a clear and accurate representation of the buy-sell agreement?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, the authenticity of Exhibit 5 is previously been stipulated. The prosecution now seeks that it be tendered into evidence at this time.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, it's admitted.
All right. Ms. Walker, will you please summarize the third and fourth paragraphs of the buy-sell agreement?
Yes, it talks about how if one of the partners comes across death, that the other shall receive $500,000.
All right. So, in your expert opinion, how much did Ms. Haynes stand to gain from the death of Ms. Torrance?
$500,000.
No further questions, Your Honor, but may I publish the exhibit signature?
You may.
And may I proceed?
Sir. All right, cross-examination.
Mrs. Walker, during your investigation, you found a $500,000 buy-sell agreement, right?
Oh, yes.
Let the record reflect I am retrieving what has been previously identified as Exhibit 5. Commissioner Williams.
You may.
Can you call 5 to the jury?
Yes. Should the death of one partner occur at the hand of the other partner, then the surviving partner shall be excluded from any benefits laid out herein.
So Logan wouldn't receive any of the $500,000 if he killed Jeff, correct?
No. With yes. Oh wait, no, sorry.
After telling Logan about the results of the investigation, you returned to the restaurant, right?
Yes.
And when you returned, you overheard a conversation between Logan and Zoe.
Yes.
But there was a lot of noise outside the bullhorn, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't hear everything that was said?
No.
And you didn't hear the exact wording of Logan's threat, right?
No, but I could still hear some of the words that were being talked about.
And you said you clearly heard Logan mention just desserts, right?
Yes.
And you said, but you don't know what just desserts means?
No.
And you don't know if a restaurant Logan and Zoe plan to open and name just desserts, right?
No.
And you also said you clearly heard Zoe mention Sasha wanting the money right then, right?
Yes.
So you clearly heard Zoe say Sasha wanting the money right then, and Logan mentioned just as
Objection, Your Honor, compound question.
Your Honor, as these statements have already been confirmed, it's not a compound question, because I'm not asking a question, I'm confirming what's been said already.
Would you rephrase the question, just to break it up into simpler parts?
Thank you.
So to confirm, you clearly heard Zoe mention Sasha wanting the money right then,
Yes.
and you clearly heard Logan mention just as right?
Yes.
But you didn't hear his exact wording for his threat?
No, but like I said, I could hear some of the words that he was saying.
And earlier in your investigation, you heard Zoe on the phone calls with someone multiple times, right?
Yes.
And while on these phone calls, you heard her say, "There's no need to threaten me,"
Yes.
and you heard her saying that she'd give the person their money, right?
Yes.
And pleading for more time.
Yep.
You also heard her say that she remembers what happened the last time the payment was late, right?
Yes.
And in retrospect, you think this person is Sasha Portion was threatening Zoe?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor, this calls for speculation from the witness.
Your Honor, she directly stated in her witness statement that she believes this person is Sasha Portion was threatening Zoe.
Yeah, just because she stated it in the statement doesn't mean it's not speculation.
Well, she's basing it off of what she heard, and after the case came out, she's basing it off of what she understands from that.
Your Honor, she has no way to know who was on the other side of that phone call. It completely calls for speculation. It is far and away from her own perceptions.
I mean, are you saying that this is her rational perception?
Yes.
Overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. So to restate, in retrospect, you believe this person on the phone is Sasha Portion was threatening Zoe.
Yes.
And during the first week of your investigation, you saw Zoe walk in with burn marks on her arms
Yes.
and bruises on her neck.
Yes.
During your investigation, you also saw someone lurking across the street multiple times, right?
Yes.
And you later confirmed this person to be Sasha Portion.
Yes.
So to get this right, Sasha was often roaming outside the restaurant, right?
Yes.
And you also heard Zoe on threatening phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
Objection, Your Honor, ask and answer.
I'm reiterating what was said to make sure I understand it, right? And to make sure that you're,
It has been asked and answered, but we'll give him a little leeway.
Thank you, Your Honor.
and you heard Zoe on threatening phone calls, right?
Yes.
And you heard Zoe talking about Sasha wanting money right then?
Yes.
No further questions.
All right, thank you. Any redirect?
No redirect, Your Honor.
All right, may this witness be excused. Yeah, all right, you may step down, thank you. Will the state please call your next witness?
The prosecution rests, Your Honor.